And we are live. What is up, everyone? Welcome on in. Happy Tuesday. Hope everyone's doing well. Good to see everyone here. So yeah, more Ace Attorney investigations 2. Alright, so yesterday we did finish case 2, so we are now going to start case 3. So, we have noticed that the episodes or the cases here are a little bit in the longer side. So what we're probably gonna do tonight or today is we'll see how long we get up until the first to be continued. Then we'll gauge from there whether we'll take a stop or we continue. Because as much as possible, I want to pause or end stream at very opportune times wherein you're not gonna be left hanging. We're not gonna be left hanging that we're in the middle of an investigation or a chapter. And yeah. So yeah, we'll see from there. Alright. On to episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. So at the end of the last chapter, we did see a preview of a Gregory Edgeworth sprite, and it looks like this shadow or this silhouette or this outline here is Mr. Gregory Edgeworth himself. Alright, guess let's do this. Episode 3, Turnabout Legacy. Before we start, I think I have an audio delay. Oh my god. Why am I having audio delays? I think this started happening ever since I moved. So yeah. Alright. Let's go. Turnabout Legacy. Let's do this. Right, episode 3, Turnabout Legacy, as you can see behind my big fat head. Oh, hello. Cake? Your 3 p.m. cake extravaganza.
Samson!
And Judy's Bake and Bow!
Oh, there's sounds. Macarons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness, waiting for you. Look there, what where? Over there. The oven's got something special to share. Ding. Now, let's see what we've got for you. It's cooking time! Are you ready to make something special together? Oh, is this a cooking case? Is there a murder in a kitchen? Wow, talk about a blast from the past. Oh, hello. Hey, Gregory. I'm going back there tomorrow with your boy. I'm finally going to find out what happened 18 years ago. The L6 incident. Very young Fender. April 2nd, 10:05 a.m. Zodiac Hall, Fountain Room. Well, Fender, are you finally going to tell me what we're doing here? Why have you brought me to an art gallery of all places? Hey, you had nothing going on. Seemed like the perfect chance to come and enjoy the magic of star sign stuff together. I'm leaving. Chill, big guy. I'm just joking. You know about the IS-7 incident, yeah? Your old man's last case? Of course, Von Karma took great pleasure in showing me the files as soon as I became a prosecutor. And I reviewed them again last night after your invite, see? I was also present at the trial all those years ago, although my memories of it are somewhat hazy. Yeah, because that... Oh, hello. Senior partner at Edgeworth & Co. and former assistant of my father. He worked at the original IS-7 incident. Alright, if you don't know Ace Attorney lore or Ace Attorney timelines, so Miles' father, Gregory Edgeworth, died at the courthouse, and that was the DL6 incident. So I think that was it. That was the last case Gregory handled. As a child, I was completely in awe of my father. The sight of him in court was inspirational. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, and opposite him, Manfred von Karma. The man who would become my mentor, Manfred von Karma. It was quite a case. However, it ended with the conviction of the accused. Ah, so you were there too. You were in the courtroom of Gregory's final outing. Well, that'll make me explaining things easier. I wanted you to know something, see? That something being what really went down, not the truth in those files, but the capital T truth. It was 18 years ago, smack dab in the middle of a real doozy of a winter. The buildings were covered with a blanket of snow. It looked like the streets were lined with popsicles. But things weren't so innocent behind those frozen doors. In fact, some pretty sordid stuff went down. Sorry, let me just adjust this so that hopefully the audio's okay. Oh, hello. Young Fender. This was back before yours truly was the fine figure of an attorney you see before you today. 18 years ago. Flashback. December 24th, 5 p.m. Detention Center. Oh, hello. Visitor's room. Hey, Mr. E, this one really came out of the blue, huh? It did. We were called in before the ink on the arrest papers were even dry. My name is Gregory Edgeworth. I'm a defense attorney. I'm here visiting a client with my assistant, Eddie Fender. Murder on Christmas Eve? What's the world coming to? In the dark of the night, at the end of the day, I saw two timely saviors a coming my way. Oh, it's... Welcome, my friends, to the visitor's room. And if we're not friends yet, I'm sure we will be soon. Are we gonna, like, read the rhymes or someone sing? Whoa, talk about an entrance. And the guard was like, ta-da! Neither was I. Sorry if I surprised you. I'm just so happy to see you both. Thanks so much for coming out. Seriously, I can't thank you enough. You're the accused, I take it. I am. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law, at your service. I look forward to representing you. Oh, it's the OG attorney's badge. Ah, alright. It isn't the new style attorney's badge, damn. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Pleased to meet you, sir. I'll do everything I can to help. Come now, Edward. Calm down, please. You'll have to forgive him. He's still new to this. He's been helping me out part-time, but he's far from fully-fledged lawyer material yet. Nonetheless, I'm hoping he'll be of some assistance in investigating the particulars of this case. Gregory and Eddie, it's an honor to meet you both. My job as a defense attorney is to save my clients from wrongful convictions. So the first thing to do is establish whether or not he is truly innocent. Perhaps we could begin by having you tell us a little about yourself. What am I thinking? I haven't even told you my name. I'm Samson Tangaroa. What? It really is you, Samson Tangaroa, the world's greatest confectioner? You flatter me, my young friend. And call me Samson, all my pals do. Wow, thanks Samson, I will. I can't believe I'm meeting you in person. It seems Eddie knows something of our client. Mr. E, it's the Samson Tangaroa, the singing, dancing confectionery making sensation. What shall we make today, kids? Macarons, waffles with cream, chiffon cakes that are light as a dream. Laugh and sing, smile, it's true. All that sweetness waiting for you. What? Where? Over there. The oven's got something special to share. Bing! Now, let's see what we've got for you. Ta-da! I almost started dancing along. No way! I got to sing with Samson Tangaroa. This is a dream come true. Yeah, thanks, little pal. It means a lot to hear you say that. My apologies, but I think we need to discuss the matter at hand. Of course, I'm sure you're both very busy. Alright, where would you like me to start? So, you're not just a confectioner, but also a singer and a dancer? I sure am. When I'm having fun, my body just starts moving. You must really enjoy making desserts. Haha, I wouldn't be much of a confectioner if I didn't. I live to make sweets that will bring joy to others. Hey, they're not just things, they're works of art. Sparkling, dazzling, mouth-watering creations. The stuff that dreams are made of. So he aims to create joyous and inspirational pieces, does he? Okay, we have to present the badge. Thank you for agreeing to represent me. The scales on my badge mean something, Mr. Tangaroa. You represent justice and fairness. We'll see to it that you get a fair trial, and if you're innocent, you will walk free. But until then, I'm going to need you to sit tight and trust me. I will, I do, thank you. Samson Tangaroa, age 39, my client and a man said to be the greatest confectioner of his generation. I understand that the incident in question happened at your mansion. It did. We were holding an international confectionery contest there when a body was found inside one of my creations. Inside one of your... No way! Let me guess, that was made of chocolate. The detective in charge placed me under arrest because of it, and now here I am. But I could never take a life, never. I'm sure the police will see that too in time. They'll realize their mistake. I sure hope so. And what can you tell us about the victim? His name is Artie Frost. Of course. He's taking part in the contest. Mr. Frost was a wonderful confectioner. His creations were things of real beauty. I just don't understand. Why did he have to die? I'm sorry. He seems genuinely upset over the victim's death. I think I have a pretty good measure of the man now. Mr. Tangaroa, there's just one last thing I need to confirm with you. You didn't kill Mr. Frost, correct? Correct. I swear to you I didn't do it. Like I told you, I could never take a life. Never. He seems quite sincere. Alright, I'm going to take you at your word. Thank you for being so forthright with me. Likewise, it's good to talk to somebody other than those detectives. We'll head to the scene of the crime and see what we can learn. We'll be in touch when we have something more to tell you. Goodbye, Gregory. Goodbye, Eddie. I'm counting on you both. Oh, alright. This is the same fountain. Alright, December 24, 6 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Brr, it's so pretty cold out there, huh, Mr. E? I never saw so much snow. Yes, and it doesn't seem like it will be letting up anytime soon. But just look at this place. What a sweet house Samson's got. It's huge! Yes, big enough to hold an international confectionery contest, no less. Welcome, welcome everyone. Come on in, we'll have some fun. Oh no. Are you alright? I'm sorry. Would you happen to meet Mr. Gregory Edgeworth by any chance? I would. It's a pleasure to meet you. I'm Eddie Fender, Edgeworth's assistant. Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, welcome to our humble abode. Judy Bound, it's an honor to meet you both. I'm the housekeeper here and Mr. Tangaroa's assistant. You're no housekeeper, you're Judy Bound, the Judy Bound. You know a little something of my work? A little? I watch you on TV every chance I get. I'm Bacon Bop's biggest fan. Hee. It's very kind of you to say so. We'd be nothing without our fans. And what might Bacon Bop be? It's only the biggest show on TV. Every kid on the planet loves it. The dynamic duo of Samson and Judy make delicious sweet stuff, all while singing and dancing. Like this, check it out. What shall we make today, kids? Cookie dough, caramel too, fluffy show cream, tiramisu. Everyone come along. Bacon treats with a smile and song. Where? Who? There, it's true. The oven's got something special for you. Just take a bite and you'll see. That was a wonderful performance, Mr. Fender. Bravo. I dance along every time I watch the show. Perhaps Miles might enjoy it too. I'll suggest it later. No, Miles will enjoy like... Shoot, what show is that? Samurai thing. But all this dancing really takes it out of a guy. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm the world's worst hostess. Here, nothing relaxes the body and mind quite like a cup of tea. Clink, clink, clatter, clatter. It was the assistant. Ah, this is Ceylon, correct? It's delicious. Its citrus aroma is said to improve one's ability to concentrate, as I recall. Interesting, so this is what Ceylon tea tastes like, huh? How odd, the saucer's cold. Yes, it's so that the tea cools down more quickly, I'm afraid. Some of our guests don't like it too hot. I see. These teacups are very unique too. The design is really something. You think so? Thank you so much. I ordered them all the way from France. They're my absolute favorite. They were designed by a marvelous sculptor named Paul Halik. Have you heard of him? He makes the most amazing tableware in the world. You're clearly a big fan of his work. Oh, I am. These teacups are my greatest treasure. She's certainly not afraid to show when she's passionate about something. If you don't mind, I'd like to move to the reason we're here. Can you tell us everything you know about the unfortunate incident that occurred earlier? Of course. I'm sorry for getting distracted. I guess I'm still in shock. Because I'm the one who found the body, you see. You discovered the victim? Is it true that the body was recovered from inside one of Mr. Tangaroa's creations? It is. We were in the middle of the contest's final judgment phase when I heard the sound of something big collapsing coming from Samson's room. Samson, are you in here? Eek! Ah! I opened the door and we went inside and there was Mr. Frost's body. Thank you. I'm sorry to make you relive such a traumatic experience. Think nothing of it, please. I only wish I had more to tell you. Now, if you don't mind, Miss Bound, I'd like to begin our investigation of the crime scene. Oh, Mr. Edgeworth, Mr. Fender, you have to save Samson. He's no murderer. He could never do something like that. Of course. Leave it to us, Miss Bound. Thank you so much. I'll go serve the others their tea then. Come, Eddie, to the scene of the crime. Yes, sir, Mr. E. Oh, holy crap, it's Tyrell. It's Tyrell Bad. December 24, contest venue, Tangaroa's room. It's a young Tyrell Bad, holy crap. me a sec. No way! Everything in this room's made of chocolate. Can't believe I'm getting to see many of Samson's creations this up close and personal. I might be more excited myself if the room wasn't a murder scene. Just hearing you say that sends a shiver down my spine. That might just be the temperature in here. It's rather cold. Yeah, now that you mention it, it is pretty chill. Ah, achoo! Of course, it has to be that cold because chocolate melts at like room temperature. Defense on the scene already? That was fast. Pleasure to meet you, Gregory Edgeworth. I'm representing Mr. Tangaroa. This is my assistant, Eddie Fender. Nice to meet you. Bad. Detective Tyrell Bad. The detective in charge is named Bad, a man of few words. Oh my god, why did you eat that? Something about this just doesn't taste right. You're eating your notepaper? He likes to chew over his thoughts rather literally, I'm afraid. It helps him to digest and remember them. Wow, very literal. Very, very literal. It's a little quirk of his. Please try to ignore it. Although I'd be the first to admit that's easier said than done. With introductions out of the way, Detective Bad, would you mind if we joined you in investigating the scene? Sorry, not gonna happen. What? How come? Mr. Edgeworth is Mr. Tangaroa's attorney. Yeah, and attorneys will do anything to get him off the hook. Even put words in their client's mouth. You think I need that on my crime scene? Mr. Edgeworth would never do something like that. I don't trust attorneys, okay, kid? Detective, you established my client's supposed guilt based on an investigation of the crime scene, correct? That's usually how it works, yeah. What of it? Then extend me the same courtesy. I believe he is innocent and I would like the chance to prove it. You believe he's innocent and you didn't even see the scene yet? That's some flimsy lawyering. That's exactly why I wish to see the scene for myself. I need to ensure that my belief is based on solid evidence and sound reasoning. You're about to tell me you're not leaving until I let you look over the scene. I am. Fine. Knock yourselves out. Thank you, Detective. But I'm coming around with you. Like I said, I don't trust attorneys. If you're good with that, go ahead and get to it. That was a lollipop this whole time? I must admit I didn't see that coming either. We better get started then. I'll need you to take notes, Eddie. On it, Mr. E. Let's get this over with. Begin investigation. Contest venue, Tangaroa's room. What is it? You're doing this all wrong. An investigation is like popsicle. You walk around the scene, look at stuff, talk to witnesses. Everything you do, it's like a lick of that popsicle. Slowly, you eat away at it. Until all that's left is the stick, and written on that stick is the truth. And I suppose I'd better hope it doesn't stay guilty. Okay, what do we have? So we have Fender, Tangaroa, Frost, murder victim found inside Samson Tangaroa's chocolate work. Judy Bound, she's just 16. Assistant to Samson Tangaroa, she's fond of the work of sculptor Paul Halik. That's an interesting note in Judy's profile. Tyrell Bad, age 42. Detective assigned to this case, a man of a few words. A real crime scene. This is so exciting. This isn't a game, Eddie. I need you to take it seriously. Don't worry, Mr. E. I'm taking notes on everything. You are? What kind of notes? Notes about how all this delicious stuff is made. Can't wait to try it for myself. I'm not playing around, Edward. Take this seriously. Yes, Mr. Edgeworth. Gloves. Tanjiro wore them when he was working on his masterpiece over there. You're conveniently good at hiding fingerprints too. I suppose it's possible to employ them in such a manner. But is it really all that suspicious to find a pair of gloves in a kitchen like this? I'm a detective. Everything's suspicious. That's the job. There's some very tasteful tableware here, along with some kitchen utensils. This tea set is of the same design as the one Miss Bound served us with earlier. You think Samson could have been drinking tea out of that? The pot and cup were dusted for prints. His were the only ones they found. And was that the case for the utensils too? Everything else had been washed, so there weren't any prints to find. And if Mr. Tanjiro was wearing gloves while he was working on his confectionaries, that could explain why prints were only found in the teapot and cup. Oh, interesting. Paul Halig piece with Tanjiro was fingerprints on it. And you are? Sorry, meditating. Did you want something, detective? Oh, I am an attorney, not a detective. Gregory Edgeworth, a pleasure to meet you. And I'm his assistant, Eddie Fender. I see. Name's Carmelo Gusto. I'm a confectioner, here for the contest. You are? What's your specialty, Mr. Gusto? Okay, that was quick. The Art of Air and Sugar. No way, look at that. It's a little baby seahorse. It's a dragon, a noble soaring creature of the skies. That's a dragon? It does look more aquatic than airborne. No need to sugarcoat it. My design sense is weak. I know that better than anybody. That's why I'm heading to Zengfa when this is all over. I need to train hard. Okay, there's another, mention of Zengfa. Take note. Perhaps you should get off the subject of his design sense for now. Yo, Coburn, what's up? Welcome on in. So, what are you doing in here, Mr. Gusto? I didn't think they were allowing civilians on the scene yet. Detective want to know more about one of the pieces in here. Makes sense, seeing as he's a contestant. Perhaps I should ask him a few questions of my own. Those are some interesting implements you use, Mr. Gusto. It's a chicken now. Sugar blowing pumps, they put air into the sugar. You're so cool, it's like watching a sword master do his thing. I'm no master, not a day goes by that I don't hurt myself one way or another. That's why I wear red, that way it doesn't matter when I make a mess. The way of the confectioner is a lonely one. You never stop learning, not until you die. The way of the confectioner sounds like a long one too, if he's still injuring himself on a daily basis. What can you tell us about the contest? Alright. Just finishing dinner, raining. Oh, shoot. Kinda bled at the start but got better during the day. Yeah, I know that thing that happened. I wasn't there, but I caught up on it. So yeah, I hope you're doing well, Coburn. Hope it wasn't too damp because of the rain or things like that. Anyway, yeah, hope you're having a good day. Right, what can you tell us about the contest? Based on what we've seen so far, flavor doesn't seem to be the only criteria at play. The contest was Tangaroa's idea. It's about art. Confectionery as art. Confectionery as art? Art you can eat, every part of it. Every single item in this room is edible. Even the floor tiles? The whole place does kinda smell like chocolate. It's pretty Dampiac Creek is up water slightly across road. Oh, alright. So, flood warning, I guess. Tangaroa is a genius, a once-in-a-generation talent, flavor and flair. He has it all. And if you can't outdo the god of confections himself, you can't win. I don't know, man. Beating out the greatest in the world seems kinda hard, yeah. As it should be. Whoever beats him becomes the greatest in turn. That's the real prize here. Nothing else matters. So you're competing for a title, effectively. And a treasure. The ultimate cookbook. Tangaroa's most prized possession. If you want to know more, it's all written down here. It's the it's the list of rules that was given out to contestants. Piece of paper listing the rules of the contest. Okay. Prizes, the ultimate cookbook title of world's greatest confectioner. Judging will proceed clockwise from the leftmost room. All contestants to gather in Mr. Tangaroa's room when judging ends. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Stands and display materials will be provided. Contestants may not enter another contestant's room until judging has been completed. Fender doing a Doom guy like look around expression. Yeah, this is young Fender. We're playing as Gregory in this case. Just so you know. So this happened 18 years ago. Alright, sorry, I don't know much about what happened. I only heard about it after the judging was over. How's the judging organized? It started at 3 p.m. Tangaroa began making the rounds right around then. He left his own room, then worked his way around the venue clockwise. Oh, alright. Gusto's room and Scone's room. So there's a person named Scone in here. My creations were the first to be judged. After that, he went to Scone's room. She's one of the contestants. Yo, Suak! What is up? How are you doing? Welcome on in. It's good to see you. What can you tell us about her? Ruthless, brutal. There's nothing she wouldn't do to win. She was working with Cream, some kind of dreamscape. Then last of all, Frost's room. His thing was flavored ice. Sculptures this time, or so I heard. Doing alright, nice. That is good to hear. For me, yeah, I'm doing okay as well. Rather busy day. Just streaming tonight with some Ace Attorney. Investigations too. Bound found the body while Tangaroa was still making the rounds. She panicked, ran to call the cops. Tangaroa went right on judging, claims he didn't know a thing about it until afterward. Went ahead and looked over the victim's work even though the guy was nowhere to be seen. Pretty suspicious behavior in anyone's book. I don't have enough information to challenge him on that yet. By the way, Detective Bad, what were you and Mr. Gusto talking about earlier? I was going to ask about the piece on the wall here, the one in the frame. Seemed like something was off. Thought I'd better ask somebody who knows about this stuff. Okay, it looks like for this candelabra there's a missing flame, right? But then you bozos showed up and pulled me away from very important work. Perhaps we can take a closer look at it together. Can't take a hit, can you? Mr. Gusto, would you mind helping us out? Of course, confectionery is my life. If you have any questions, I'll be happy to answer them. Thank you, that's very kind of you. Looks like a fire alarm. Yeah, before you start prodding it, it's not made of chocolate. Push it and bells will start ringing, people will come running from the security room. A whole bunch of hassle, so don't. I know you want to, but don't. Honestly, the thought hadn't even crossed my mind. Typical attorney. What does being an attorney have to do with anything? Who knew you could make a picture of this this pretty out of chocolate. Samson really is a god among men. Is it really made of chocolate though? It looks far too much like a regular illustration to me. You have a good eye. I'm impressed. That's no piece of candy. That's the ultimate cookbook. Oh. The ultimate cookbook? In other words, the grand prize. Oh, I also noticed something. There's like a handprint on the left side of the frame. What? So that's not made of chocolate after all? No, the book is simply enframed in some. Tangaroa showed it to all of us when he gathered us here to explain the rules. So the participants knew that the grand prize was in this room the whole time. Anyway, you see it too? The frame? Something's missing. Ah, the oddity Detective Bad was going to ask Mr. Gusto about earlier, yes. You're right, Detective. Something is missing from this frame. So it's not just me. Huh? What's missing? I'd better show Eddie which part of the frame is missing some chocolate. Oh, okay. So I noticed this. But there's this part as well.
Take that!
Look at the decorative work in the corner here. Something's missing, no? Oh yeah, it's different from the other side. That's not like Tangaroa. The balance is all wrong. But that's not all. Take a look around. Every confection in this room is missing some small bit. You're right, the candle holder, the nautical stuff. They're all like that. Did somebody deliberately damage them? Oh, interesting. That's a very good question. Or did Tangaroa just want it to look like somebody messed with his work? He'd never do that to his own creations. Never! Could this have some deeper meaning for the case? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Are these finger marks? Yeah, but we don't know whose yet. Still haven't figured it out. No fingerprints, no ID. Finger marks without prints. They could certainly be important to the case. It's a real head scratcher, alright. Not really. I'm guessing whoever it was wore gloves. Ah, where's your sense of romance, of adventure? There doesn't tend to be much of either at the crime scene, Eddie. Ah, achoo! Are you alright, Eddie? Yeah, but it sure is chilly in here. Yes, it wasn't exactly warm out in the fountain room either. But it's even colder in here. Would you like to borrow my jacket? No, I'm fine. And besides, you said you'd give it to me when I finally got my attorney's badge. I did, didn't I? Why did they have the heat down so low? Chocolate needs to be kept at the right temperature. Take a look behind that panel on the wall. What panel? Look at that. It was here this whole time. There's one in each of the contest rooms. Tangaroa hid them so they won't spoil the aesthetic of her work. And what do the controls do? They adjust the temperature and the lighting. It goes all the way down to negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Ouch. Cold enough to keep any confectionery from melting. So in effect, each room is a giant freezer. It's 59 degrees in here. No wonder I'm cold. Hey Detective Bad, do you mind if we turn it up a little? Preservation of the crime scene is the foundation of detective work. But I'm not a detective. The same goes for attorneys, Eddie. We must never disturb the scene of the crime. Get used to the cold. It's all part of your training. Chocolate needs to be kept between 59 and 65 degrees. There's no way around it. You know the temperatures by heart, huh? Yet it's your job. It's the very least I should know. Oh my god, please, controller. Okay, here we go. Badge. Any real confectionery, any real confectioner should be able to tell you that and more. Alright, what about lollipops and cream? If it's not too hot or too humid, a lollipop should be fine just about anywhere. Cream needs to be kept at around 50 degrees. Need to watch out for heat and humidity, duly noted. Detective Bad kinda brightened up when he was talking about lollipops, didn't he? I suppose he must be very fond of them. Don't believe there's any more to be found here. A candelabra made of chocolate. There's a title here, The Light of Life. Well, this particular light seems to be missing one of its life-giving flames. Does it have some sort of symbolic meaning? Or could it be? It's a journal belonging to the captain of the chocolate ship, also made of chocolate. A diary of despair. That's why he placed the despair emote. Come here, Ken. See how we crossed the sea and rode the tide to misery. Quite a jaunty rhyme for such a tragic-sounding tale. Is that all it? Oh, the panel and the fire alarm. We've explored this. So I think we just need to check the panel. These controls can be used to adjust the room's temperature and lighting. Red, yellow, green, dark blue, light blue, white. That's a huge range. Temperature set to 59 degrees, light color set to white. The pieces in here are made of chocolate, that's why. White light makes them look better. Mr. Tangaroa must see the room itself as part of his carefully crafted creations. This is a fine selection of nautical paraphernalia. I think one of them could be the murder weapon? No, they're all made out of chocolate. You'd have a hard time bludgeoning somebody to death with one of them. Not unless they're frozen, probably. Disc. Can't tell what's real in here. They really do look genuine. I can hardly tell the difference myself. A true testament to Mr. Tangaroa's skills. Okay, I think we're gonna go back. Wait, what? The picture is not made of chocolate. It's the cover of a book, The Ultimate Cookbook. The Ultimate Cookbook? In other words, the grand prize. Yes, and framed in chocolate. Tangaroa showed it to Sol when he gathered us to explain the rules. Okay. We haven't, explored everything yet. Alright. How's it looking over here, officer? Nothing of interest in that cupboard door? Yes, sir. So, there is? Oh, no, there isn't. Just a blowtorch used for cooking and some tableware, sir. You heard the man, Mr. Attorney. Nothing to add, am I right? No. So, you do have something to add? Oh, no. Just can't get a straight answer out of anybody. Perhaps you should ask a straight question. What are you investigating, officer? Sir, I was just taking the temperature of the water here. And what have you learned? Oh, it's warm, sir. The stream in each room flows in the main fountain and then the water is circulated back to the rooms. Unusual to say the least. I've never seen a house quite like this one. Rich folks, they're all crazy. Okay, the temperature of the water seems like an important point. So this is where the body was discovered. Yeah. They took it away already, but everything else is just how we found it. It's titled Voyage of the Red Rover. After sailing the seven seas, the legendary ship happens upon a great treasure at last. This piece is a tribute to the adventurous spirit of our ancestors. Who knew? So they sailed 6 whole seas before they found anything? Not exactly the luckiest crew out there. Sometimes you gotta take a bunch of wrong turns before you find the truth. That's what being a real detective is all about. Did they even have detectives back in those days? It's really rather impressive making an entire ship out of chocolate. That Samson Tangaroa for you. Don't you just want to take a big bite out of it? Which part to bite first though? That's the real head scratcher, you know. Bite any part of it and you'll be off this crime scene as fast as your head will spin. Hey, it was just a joke. Stop staring at me like that. I do sometimes wish Eddie could keep his cool a little better. It appears the body was inside the treasure chest. Yeah, a woman by the name of Bound found it. Samson, are you in here? Ah! Okay, there's a white, pill there. Sound of something breaking. What was the sound of sound Bound heard coming from Tangaroa's room? If only we had just a little more information. There's something else in here. Huh? It's... looks like a seal of some kind. With somebody's initials and an intricate shape carved into it. Is it for making those fancy wax things and documents? Do you think it belonged to the victim? Delicious Cone. Carmelo Gusto. Tyrell Bad, Samson Tangaroa, Artie Frost, Judy Bound. Alright, it says H or PH. No idea, but it's gotta get logged anyway, so I'll take that. Seal. A seal that was found near the body when it was discovered. What could the design signify? Have I examined everything? Oh, this one. One of the stands of the ship is broken. The ship must have collapsed onto the treasure chest and smashed it open. Wait, do you think... could that be how the victim died? Was he crushed by the ship? If he was, this becomes an accidental death and not a murder. You too serious? Don't worry, detective. For the moment, we're simply discussing a possibility. I was being serious though. Detective, can you tell us a little more about the state of the victim's body? Let me see. Got a picture here someplace. You can see for yourselves. Death was from blunt force trauma. And what about the weapon? Has it been found yet? You can ask the prosecutor in charge about that. The detective's not one for sharing much, I see. Would you mind if we borrowed this? No skin off my nose, it's not like it's official. Bound took it with an instant camera when she found the body. An instant camera? Like it's disposable or something? No, it means that it develops the pictures right there and then when you take them. No way, sounds pretty convenient. Now then, I'd better get my facts straight and take down some notes of my own. There's something in this picture that contradicts with the current crimes. I'll need to call in my powers of deduction to figure out why. Is it the anchor? Oh, I think they removed the chocolate then. So I think these two are connected. Yep. The stand broke and the ship collapsed with it, and the loud sound it made brought Miss Bound running. Yeah, said the ship had already keeled over by the time she got in here. But why did the stand collapse? What caused it to break? It's the temperature. Maybe the whole thing was off balance from the get-go. Could that really have been the case? Okay, so I think it's... Could this be related to the evidence somehow?
Eureka!
You said the only thing that has been removed from the scene is the body? Yeah, that and the piece of cloth that was wrapped in. And something here doesn't quite add up. It doesn't? Take another look at the scene in front of us, Detective. A very conspicuous pool of blood that should be here is clearly missing. You're right. Don't remember anybody mentioning they'd removed the blood along with the body. Let me check with forensics. What is it, Mr. E? What did you figure out? Compare the treasure chest in the photograph to the real thing. In the picture, the solid chocolate bottom continues underneath the deceased head. And yet, that part of the chest is now gone. The part with blood all over it. Exactly. So did the police remove it? Or perhaps the killer? It wasn't forensics. They're saying nobody took anything like that away. Interesting. So somebody deliberately removed the blood from the scene? Could be. Okay, there's something in this part that's like, why is this not yet? Why is this part still not yet checked? Right. What is it? This case, it's, well, I can't get my head around a few parts of it. If you wouldn't mind, I'd like some more information about the scene of the crime. Sure, you got legs, don't you? Try using them. That's how the pros do it. Our duties may differ, Detective, but we both want to get to the bottom of what happened, don't we? Wouldn't it be better if we worked together? The detective clearly seems himself as a strong, silent type. I suppose that is also how the pros do it. Seems the culprit made sure to wear gloves. Couldn't lift squat from those finger marks. But perhaps you can extrapolate something about their owner from the size of their fingers, for example. It's not as easy as it sounds. Sorry, but these finger marks are pretty worthless as evidence goes. There's no need to be hasty, Detective. After all, even the absence of fingerprints tell us something of interest, don't you think? You lawyers have an answer for everything, don't you? I'll take that as a compliment. Okay, there is clearly something I'm missing. The Red Rover and the Crimson Tide. Looks like this title is the inspiration for everything on display here in this room. The ship and the treasure chest, of course, but also all the other nautical objects on display. It's certainly a suitably grand theme with which to showcase Mr. Tangaroa's talents. Oh my god, what am I missing here? Okay, should I like connect something? Okay, that's a connection. All of Mr. Tangaroa's creations are missing a little piece each, including one of the stands that was holding up the ship. Somebody really went all out. Do you think it could have been the killer? It's certainly a possibility. Either way, I think we can safely say the stand was damaged in our mystery person stampeding spree. And when it broke, the ship fell and smashed open the treasure chest, which would have remained closed otherwise. Investigation complete. I think we're about done here for now. Okay, well, if I wasn't convinced before, I am now. Tangaroa did it, no two ways about it. Alright, crime scene notes updated. It was closed until the ship collapsed. A part of the treasure chest that was covered in blood is missing. Every other item in the room is also missing a piece of itself. The cause of death appears to have been blood loss from following blunt force trauma. And here's a picture of the crime scene. Alright. What do you mean? All the rooms in this place locked from the inside. The only way to unlock them from the outside is with this key. I see. And who had access to that key? What do you think? Tangaroa. And it's the only one. There aren't any copies. Mansion key, the one and only key that unlocks every door in the mansion. Tangaroa was in possession of it the entire time. Why is there only one key? It's a freaking big mansion. With the mansion key, Tangaroa could slip into anybody else's room anytime he liked. And he could even lock his own room from the outside if he wanted. But Mr. Tangaroa's room wasn't locked, was it? Nope, which is exactly what makes him a suspect. Would you care to explain your thinking? Oh. Why I think Tangaroa did it. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest, so the body was on full display. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up, so he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. The one thing he didn't plan on was Bound finding the body. Anyway, that's my thinking on this whole thing. Good enough for you, Mr. Attorney? Do you also believe it was Mr. Tangaroa who damaged the alien? Somebody might seem a suspect is still a suspect. I fully understand your reasoning, Detective. Now, would you mind if I applied a little critical thinking of my own? Do your worst. Just as the detective won't compromise his devotion to the law, I won't compromise my beliefs either. And I'm not about to just accept this version of events. In fact, I'm going to show him the piece of evidence that highlights the contradiction in his claims. That's hardly solid grounds on which to base your suspicion of Mr. Tangaroa, Detective. And that's hardly solid grounds to start shouting objections left and right on, Mr. Attorney. Maybe quit interrupting and let me finish. So why he didn't deliberately... And why would he deliberately not lock his door? Because if he'd locked it, he might as well have held up a sign saying he did sit since he had the only key. But maybe it was just a coincidence. Maybe he just left it unlocked without meaning. He just happened to leave it unlocked and somebody just happened to find the body inside. Come on, kid. You'll never make detective thinking like that. But I don't want to be a detective. I want to be an attorney. I'd be grateful if he'd stop trying to steal my apprentice. Look, there's a reason why Tangaroa left his door unlocked. And why he smashed in the lid of the treasure chest so the body was in full display.
Hold it!
You're saying Mr. Tangaroa himself deliberately smashed the treasure chest open? Yep, if he hadn't, the body would have never been found. I struggle to see how he managed to destroy his creation while judging the contest at the same time. Exactly. And besides, there's no way he would have disrespected the sweets. Alright, what evidence do we have? He eats every last crumb on Bacon Bop while dancing. That's the only way his stuff gets destroyed. This isn't about what happens on TV, kid. You know about Bacon Bop, Detective? Am I the only one who isn't familiar with this show? Wow, I never would have guessed. Can you sing the theme song too? Never mind that now. Focus. The point is this. Tangaroa was responsible for breaking that lid. Everyone was supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up.
Hold it!
The judging began in Mr. Gusto's room, correct? Yeah. Kinda wanted to check his hard candy stuff out myself. In that case, how about a demonstration? Well, it's you, Detective. Are you calling him a dirty dog? It's a wolf. Huh, a lone wolf. I like it. I'm starting to enjoy these little displays. Anyhow. So he made it look like the murder happened while he wasn't there. Detective Bat seems
Happy
pretty
holidays,
convinced.
buddy. Cheers and have fun streaming.
Yo, Mr. Chip. Thank you for the 14th month resub with Prime. How are you doing? Good to see you. Hope you are doing well. Happy holidays to you. Hope everything is well. Kamusta? How are you doing? Good to see you. Hope everything is well. Happy Tuesday, by the way. Detective Bat seems pretty convinced that Mr. Tangaroa was the culprit. But there's no way he would have vandalized his own creations. No way. Still, the treasure chest did get smashed in. There's no denying that. Perhaps if you should focus more on what led to the body's discovery. Doing so should make it easier to spot the flaw in Detective Bat's theory. Alright, did I press already the last statement?
Hold it!
Do you have a clear idea of when exactly the murder took place? Not yet. Autopsy report's still pending. And yet you still went ahead and arrested Mr. Tangaroa? We may not know when the murder happened, but we know when the body was discovered. It was while Tangaroa was judging Gusto's room. The perfect alibi if you could set it up just right. But still not grounds for an arrest. Surely you have to agree with that. Do I? Especially when I've got nothing more to say to you. Why do I get the feeling he's hiding something? Okay, we all went through that. Now, so what do we have? If the door had been locked, Tangaroa would have been suspect, which is why he deliberately didn't lock his room, and why he smashed the lid and the treasure chest so the body was in full display. Everyone is supposed to gather in his room when the judging finished up. If the door had been locked when the body was found, Tangaroa would have been the obvious suspect. Bad, he must be bad, right? Yes. And his coat isn't like the cheese coat unlike in the first game. Which is why he didn't deliberately lock his room. Okay. So I'm thinking the evidences we can use are the contest rules, the finger marks? Okay, it's probably the finger marks, the key, or the crime scene notes. Why he smashed the lid of the treasure chest? No. Okay, I think this is it. So the body was full on display. However, the lid was closed until the ship collapsed. So I think this is it.
Objection!
Objection. We've established that the body was hidden inside the chest, and that Miss Bound only came running into this room when she heard the sound. It seems reasonable to infer that the sound was that of the chocolate boat collapsing. Sure, seems likely, based on the evidence. And yet you assert that it was Mr. Tangaroa who had smashed the lid of the chest. I believe this photo makes it clear that it was the ship that did the smashing. And if that had occurred only moments before Miss Bound had entered the room, then it couldn't have been broken by Mr. Tangaroa, who was out judging the contest at that time. Hold it, I never said he did it then and there. He could have done something to the stand so it collapsed when he was in the middle of judging.
Objection!
Have you any way of proving that assertion? Nope, but the investigation isn't over yet. There's still time. So he doesn't have anything conclusive. Have you found any prints in this room beside those of Mr. Tangaroa? Yep, on the door. But we found Tangaroa's and Frost's prints on there too. We were all brought in here for a briefing right before we started work on our creations. Those prints are probably from then. I'll take it you haven't checked any of Mr. Tangaroa's works for prints yet. Why would? We know that somebody tampered with them. Therefore, it's possible they left some prints behind when they did so. Wouldn't? Okay. Here's the thing. The stuff in there is made of chocolate, and chocolate like melts in body temperature, right? So if somebody touched that, there would like be a print, right? Like, you don't need the dust for it. It's gonna, like, you know, be there. Anyway, fine. But if you don't find anything, your guy's still top of my list. Got it. You, check all of this chocolate stuff for prints, now. Yes, sir, right away. 20 minutes later. Detective Bad. We finished dusting the chocolate and we found prints that don't belong to Mr. Tangaroa, sir. Go on. Whose? Delicious Scone, sir. She's one of the contestants. Good work. You can go back to whatever you were investigating before. Yes, sir. So it seems we have a suspect beside Mr. Tangaroa. Even without your lawyerly input, I wasn't about to wrap up the investigation anyway. I'll go speak to Miss Scone and see what she has to say for herself. Alicia Scone. Mr. Gusto mentioned her too. He said that she was ruthless, that she'd do anything to it. This Cone lady sounds like a pretty suspicious character, huh, Mr. E? Yes, I think we'd better try to speak with her ourselves as well. Detective Bad, would you mind if we accompanied you? Babysitting you is not my job. Aw, come on. But I guess you did pick up a couple of useful clues already. So if you want to tag along, be my guest. Thank you, Detective. You're too kind. But Detective Bad, sir, I don't think that's such a good idea. The lead prosecutor is still busy in there. It'll be fine. Me and him don't exactly see eye to eye anyhow. Who is this him? Why did they assign the case to? Manfred von Karma. What? They gave it to Von Karma? He hasn't lost the case in 25 years. Manfred von Karma, a living legend over at the prosecutor's office. We've never faced one another in the courtroom, but I've heard plenty of stories. They say he'll do anything to ensure a guilty verdict. But I can't let that distract me. For now, I need only continue to do what I believe is right. To be continued. Alright. We'll do another. Oh, it's still beginning. Okay. Alright. December 24th, 7:30 p.m. Contest venue, Scone's room. Why are things like happening on Christmas? Like... Whoa, a candy castle. And look, there are even some little elves to go with it. Room's laid out, pretty much the same as Tangaroa's. It's not as cold though, that's something. Let's see. Yeah, looks like there's a temperature control panel in here too. Over there where that orange light is, right? We'd better take a closer look at it when we can. It's like a fairy tale storybook in here. And this whipped cream covered construction must be the work of Miss Delicia Scone. Where is Miss Scone? Why? Me? Why? I'm just over here, dearie. Oh, just look at you lovely boys. Delicia Scone, at your service. Some cheeky blighters back in Blighty even call me Miss Delicious. Teehee. Called a lovely boy at 34. Unexpected to say the least. Lovely boys? Really? Even Mr. E? Oh yes, dear. You, the detective over there. You're all lovely boys to me. I'm nobody's lovely boy, lady. Name's Bad. I wonder just how old she is. Finish this up so we can get out of here, Mr. Attorney. Yes, alright. Objection! Objection! What's the meaning of this? Chit-chatting with the defense. It's Manfred. It's young Manfred. Young. Mr. Edgeworth, some scary guy just stepped out of the castle. Castle. Von Karma. What? He's Manfred Von Karma? Eep. Sorry, mannequins. The notorious prosecutor Von Karma himself. It's a pleasure to meet you, Mr. Von Karma. Gregory Edgeworth, attorney at law. I couldn't care less what your name is. Your job is to lose to me and disappear, never to show your sniveling face again. What a thoroughly rude individual. Those piercing eyes, that furrowed brow. You're even scarier than what they say. And you might want to keep such rude thoughts to yourself, Eddie. We were hoping that you might permit us to carry out some brief inquiries, Mr. Von Karma. And why would I wish to extend you any such courtesy? This clearly isn't going to be easy. Okay, I can't do the raspy voice for Von Karma. So, as long as your inquiries are limited to these rooms, I suppose I'll allow it. Why the sudden change of heart? You, the tall fellow. Name's Bad. Is that so hard to remember? I didn't ask for your opinion. The thoughts of a lowly detective do not concern me. But I do admire your spirit. Bad, see to it that these worms don't step out of line. Why do I have to? I'm not offering you a choice, detective. I need to go and look over Gusto's. Good day. Great. More babysitting. Why aren't Detective Bad and Mr. Von Karma investigating together? They don't seem to know each other well enough for there to be a bad blood between them. Well, looks like we have permission to investigate. Guess we better get to it. Indeed. I'm not sure I trust Mr. Von Karma's motives, but at least we can do that much. Hold up. I haven't been over this room yet either. You're not messing it up before I get my chance. You'll have to wait till I'm done. Huh? But I thought you were the lead detective. How come you didn't take a look at this room yet? Because I wasn't the first one they assigned. One of Von Karma's pets was on the job before me. So is there a second detective here? Right up until just now, in fact. I got here not long before you did. That answers my question as to why they're working separately, I suppose. Let's say we'll look over the room together, detective. It worked out well enough before. Then you won't have to worry about us messing things up. You can keep an eye on us as we go. What kind of screwball attorney asks to have a detective breathing down his neck? Guess I'm stuck with you for a little while longer. Yes, you're amazing, Mr. E. You have our thanks, Detective Bad. Don't be too grateful. This is my scene. The second you get in my way, you're out of here. Of course, we understand. Now shall we begin? Begin investigation. Okay, so we can't go around the castle or the castle. Okay, before we investigate, I need to take a very quick break, so I will BRB. Because I need to go to the toilet. Alright, sorry folks, BRB. That was fake. Oh my god, that is so good. This is a something. This is definitely a something.
Dash backseats with. While you're watching this enthralling display of excellence, why not subscribe to youtube.com/@psycho103 for more of this exciting content on demand. It's 5-star entertainment guaranteed, and a hell of a good time, with videos edited by yours truly, Dash Garmar. One of the best decisions you will make today, so go on, subscribe today. That's youtube.com/@psycho103. Make sure to like, comment and subscribe.
Thank you for the backseat, Dad. Welcome, it's the Japanese flag, woo! I found a soft lock, Yuto. There's a soft lock. I found a soft lock. Sorry, Shade, I found a soft lock. Better at. Let's do the level. Okay, red type first. Well, there we go. And we have the balloon room. Woo! My god, this is the balloon room. Woo! Yep. Damn it. Okay, we found the balloon room now. Can finish the level normally. And we back. Am I unmuted? Yes, I should be. Alright, let us continue the investigation. Alright, okay, let's start with Miss Cohen. What's the matter, Miss Cohen? You seem a whole lot less cheerful than you were a minute ago. Is it Mr. Von Karma? Did something happen between you two? Why, yes, nothing happened at all. But you just said yes. Hehehehe. Gotta say hello, yes, you silly boy. Aren't you just the sweetest little sugar dumpling? Remind me, what was your name again? Alright, this looks kinda sus because they said Scone is ruthless. It seems we're gonna have like a 180 of this lady. A confectioner of indeterminate age. Back home in the UK, they call her Miss Lush. Oh, she's British. Aren't you just the sweetest little... I can't do an accent, sorry. Oh, Eddie. Eddie Lumpkin. Oh, you'll go far, dearie, I can tell. Eddie Lumpkin? It seems our English gentlewoman has taken a liking to you, Eddie. No small accomplishment. She's not exactly what I picture when I think of a gentlewoman, Mr. E. Never mind that now, we should ask her a few questions while we can. Could you tell us about what you did over the course of the contest? Of course, dearie, let's see. It all started at about 10 in the morning, that's when we set to work. And, well, I spent most of the time here in my room getting everything ready, as you'd expect. Oh, and there was our lovely afternoon tea for an hour or so from around 1, I think. Afternoon tea? It's an English tradition, a chance to drink tea, enjoy a snack, and make small talk. So kinda like recess. I suppose you could say that. Oh, you really know your onions, don't you, Greggy Pegleg? Such a clever boy. When did I become Greggy? and where was this afternoon tea served? Out in the garden, of course. There's a lovely little one just outside. So who's TBS? So... Scone, Tangaroa, and... B is Bond, right? Bound. They do it at the same hour every break time until during the contest. Lay on a nice little spread, you know. But today, only me, Samson, Silly Pants, and Moody Judy were there for it. Sammy Poople had already finished his big creation, so he was there the whole time. But poor old Chillywinks and Gusty Pants had to miss out because they hadn't finished yet. Bless them. So Chillywinks must be Frost. Gusty Pants must be Gusto. You're saying everybody except Mr. Frost and Mr. Gusto were present? That's right, dear. To tell you the truth, I hadn't finished yet either. But I wasn't about to miss out on tea and cake served by our two TV2 superstars. I went right back to work when I'd finished though. Toodled off while the others were still nattering away. And at any point during the contest, did you visit any of the other competitors' rooms? What? No dear, don't be silly. That's strange, because your fingerprints were found in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Eek! Caught red-handed. Wait, so you admit you were there? Oh, well, I can hardly deny it now, can I? But I didn't kill anybody, I swear. I suppose I better tell you what really happened. Just promise you'll believe me, won't you, dear? What exactly were you doing in Mr. Tangaroa's room? Well, I suppose you'd call it research. Sorry, let me just fix my mic stand because it's like sagging all the time. Okay, I hope this like stays. Please stay. Research. Sammy Poople's a dab hand when it comes to the old sweet making. Everybody knows that. So when I noticed there was no one in there, I just popped in for a quick bit of research, like I say. Mike arm is fucked, got to replace it. Yeah, but this is far better than the first mic arm I had. The first one was super flimsy. This one at least like stays at a certain like angle. But when I put it in an angle for like this position, it sags big time. So I like have like a pack of post-it notes as like something to prevent it from sagging. What kind of research leaves fingerprints? Yes, well, it stands to reason I'd leave fingerprints, doesn't it? After all, it's hardly research if you don't have a little nibble now, is it? What? You ate little pieces of them? Okay, so that might explain the missing pieces of the works, right? So, the traces of tampering in Mr. Tangaroa's room, that was all you? I am ever so sorry, sweeties. I didn't mean to make a mess. I just had to take a little bite here and there, didn't I? I didn't want poor Sammy Poople getting upset, so it was just the teensiest bits and pieces. And the stand holding up the ship, you took a bite out of that too, I suppose. Oh yes, dear, of course I did. So it was her fault. It was you. You brought the whole thing crashing down. Eek! I'm sorry, my lovely. Truly I am. Hold on, is that why you left the afternoon tea early? You were heading off for a second helping of sweets. Look, just please believe me, I never killed anybody, I promise. Her actions were certainly suspicious, but that's about all we can say for now. Okay, time to investigate the room. What's the matter? Something weird about the ladder? It's not a ladder, Detective Bad. It's a step ladder. Ladder versus step ladder. Woo! Same difference. Far from it, actually. You'd know if you'd observed their basic natures more closely. Amazing, Mr. E. I'll have to remember this for future reference. Okay, no, I don't want to talk to you again. Go away. These must be the various tools Miss Scone used to build her castle. Buckets filled with cream, trowels, and a brush. Is she a patissier or plasterer? Don't you go making jokes at my expense, you cheeky young devil. I don't just slap stuff on walls like a silly old plasterer. I have to spread the cream out lovely and smooth, then work out all the rough patches. That's literally exactly what a plasterer does. The 4 adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. So that's the theme behind Miss Scone's creations, huh? Unlucky for her, things aren't quite as sweet around us here as she's trying to make out. Food coloring? Ooh, blowtorch. There's a blowtorch and some chemicals here. I guess it's all for cooking with. I wonder what these chemicals are. Let's take a look at the labels. Mango down 911. Mango down 911. Homicyanide 247. They're poison. Wait, they're all poisons? No, sir. They're common colorings and flavorings used in candies and desserts. They're food coloring. Really? The first one is concentrated mango, boiled down to its purest essence, hence mango down. Oh. Tisk, they're asking for trouble with a name like that. I'm curious what homicyanide might be. Kinda sus. Yes, definitely sus. Don't turn around, don't turn around. If you turn around, you'll eat it. You can't eat the castle. Don't eat the castle. I guess he's watching his sugar intake. Watch out for diabetes. There's a small door in the wall here, just like Mr. Tangaroa's room. Here, I'll open it. Click. Temperature 68 degrees. Light set to green. Didn't Gusto say cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees? Temperature in here is too high. Temperature here is too high. So something might collapse or like, yeah. That is odd. I wonder why. It's a cute little elf made of candy and it's sitting on a little tree stump. Huh? The whipped cream decorations around it are beginning to lose their shape. But the elf seems completely fine. Strange. There's probably support. It's an incredible piece of work. Hard to believe this whole castle is made of sugar and cream. I know, right? It's like we're inside a magical medieval story or something. I didn't know you were so into such fantastical things. Sorry, Mr. Edgeworth. Didn't mean to get so carried away there. Oh, no need to apologize. I admire your enthusiasm. I sometimes wish my own son was as animated as you. You have a son, Mr. E? I do. He's still in elementary school, and yet he'd rather read a statute book than a fairy tale. I can't help but worry that his interests will make it hard for him to make friends. Don't say that. He sounds super interesting. He'll make a ton of friends. Me included, I'm sure. I like to think you'd be more of a big brother to him than a friend, Eddie. A big brother, huh? You just ate that piece of paper, damn it. I guess I have some growing up to do. Better take this more seriously. Indeed. Then with that in mind, shall we continue our investigation? I must scour the scene and inspect anything that catches my attention. Huh? These pillars, they have hexagonal indentations. Looks like something's supposed to go in there. Well, whatever they were, they're long gone. Hexagonal indentations, huh? I wonder. Castle's covered in whipped cream, so maybe a giant strawberry? A giant strawberry with a hexagonal bottom? Look, I like strawberries, okay? Can't blame a guy for wishing. I prefer bananas myself. Blueberries for me. The doors of the castle have been left wide open. Yeah, was the guy born in a barn? You could have at least closed them behind him. I'd like to see you say that to Mr. Von Karma's face. Wait, there's a bunch of stuff inside. Let's see. Hold it, kid. If anybody's gonna be handling evidence, it'll be me. Yes, cream's going all runny. Whipped cream is melting and will lose its shape at the slightest touch. It's all over the detective's shoes. Why are all these items being stored inside the candy castle? Alright, tell me what you want me to look at first. Two big rock crystals? Looks like somebody was using the castle for storage. I'd expected something a little more exciting behind those doors. Oh, I know. Maybe they're giant uncut gemstones. And maybe this thing is based on a story about the castle with the priceless treasure hidden inside. I think I'd treat my priceless treasures with a little more care. There's something on the bottom of them. Oh, they're hexagons, so they might be the one to go in those pillars. Looks like a little stand or something. Okay, for some reason there are stands mounted on the bottom of the rock crystals we found inside the candy castle. I was right, they are gemstones. The stands must be so they can put on display. Well, whatever they are, it seems they're not just a large set of paperweights. Okay, what are these blue tarps? Okay, there's a bunch of blue cloth back there. 1, 2, 3, 4 rolls altogether. Well, they certainly aren't made of candy. No idea what this stuff is for. Almost looks like somebody hid it in here. And I think I've seen fabric of the same color somewhere else before.
Dash backseats with Cassell.
Cass-L. Hi Dash, how are you doing? Welcome on in. Good to see you. Castle. Carcel. I think that's it. So I think we can deduce now. Doing good. Hope you're doing well. Castle. 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 Alright. So I think we can deduce rock crystal and hexagonal indentations. This will pop up the painkiller. Yeah, dude, hope you're feeling much better from things that happened earlier. Alright, rock crystal stands in the pillars in front of the castle feature the same hexagonal shape. I believe the crystals are meant to be placed on top of the pillars. Oh yeah, hexagon to hexagon. Makes perfect sense. Hexagons are the bestagons. You are, yeah, that's good to hear. Glad to hear that things are going better now. But if that's the case, then why were they being hidden inside the castle? The rolls of blue cloth and the rock crystals inside the castle. I imagine both must belong to Miss Scone. Miss Scone, what were you using the items inside the castle for? Oh, those? Sorry, Lambkin, but I'm not allowed to say. Let me guess, Von Karma. Eek! How'd you know? Please don't ask me to tell you. You'll have my guts for garters. Seems the prosecution has really no intention of sharing anything with the defense. Man, thought we were onto something with those giant rock crystals, but... What's that, dearie? You're interested in my little trinkets? Your... trinkets? Yes, my sweet. I use them to make people all lovely and relaxed. You use rock crystals and cloths to do that? I do. It's wonderful, you should see it. And they're not just any old rock crystals either. They're great big lumps of salt with lights inside them. Wow, those things are lamps! Teehee. Oh, that's not even the half of it. Those cloths hold an even more exciting secret. She really opened up the moment we started talking about her trinkets. Since you're here, why don't I give you lovely boys a taste of my relaxation magic? Oh, Batty Bumpkin, can you get it all out and set it up for me? The name is bad. Is that a no? Why are you being so selfish, Batty Bumpkin? You, have you finished taking photos of this room yet? Yes, sir, we have, sir. And help Miss Scone here with something, will ya? Yes, sir, right away, sir. Hehe. Oh, you're a sweetie at heart, aren't you, Batty Bee? That's amazing, Miss Scone. You got him to exactly do what you wanted. That's some talent. Thank you ever so much, Pattykins. And you, Officer Lovely. The shameless plugin was already done. Yo, Anayalil, what's up? I haven't placed that in BTTV yet. I'll probably put that in later this week. How are you doing? Welcome on in. She's even giving nicknames to the forensics guy now. Guess it's her way of showing that she cares. So, what about this is supposed to be? Relaxing, exactly. Oh, don't be a big sourpuss, Batty B. The fun's only just beginning. Officer Lovely, you can switch it on now. Yes, ma'am. Click. Oh, hello. Yo, JR, what is up? Welcome on in. Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. Oh, I think that's UV light. Alright. Huh? Wow, it's beautiful. It is. I wish my son were here to see it. You've never been here before? Welcome on in. Welcome. Oh, it says new chatter. First time chatter. Go to sleep, JR. It's probably 8 a.m. there, right? So I think you should be awake. How's it going? Yeah, things are doing well, thanks, JR. Hope you're doing good as well. Isn't it, though? Isn't it just wonderful? The 4 adorable elves in the sweetest little castle made of sweets. That's my theme, you see? 7:25, need to get ready for work. Good morning to you. And I thought it would be extra lovely if it was all lit up. Isn't it the nicest thing you've ever seen? One of the elves must be feeling a little left out. Oh, yeah, there's no cloth there. This is how it was supposed to look for the contest, but I'm glad you lovely boys got to see it at least. Wait, shouldn't the lamps be lit up too? Oh, what's happened there, I wonder? I think we better take a look at the lamps and the elves one more time. How are you, beautiful? Who's Dash talking to? He's probably talking to everyone because everyone is beautiful. Anyway, this elf doesn't have an illuminated cloth over it like the others. It's not fair to leave the poor guy out, Miss Scone. Well, I didn't want to, did I, dear? But one of my cloths and one of my little machines went missing. I look less attractive. Ah, don't say that, JR. Cloth and what sort of machine exactly? Oh, you'll never guess how it all works. Those luminous cloths are connected to these little thingamajigs. They're called full spectrum light emitting devices. They send light down the main cable into each optical fiber strand. That's what makes the cloth glow. With a little bit of fiddling, you can change the light to any color in the whole wide world. LED strips before their time? This was the 90s. Bright red like ferocious fiery flames. Cold blue like clinking crystals of ice. They have these special batteries that last for donkey's years and they don't mind the cold at all. Forgive me, so these machines, they're what makes the special luminous cloth light up in all these beautiful colors, Mystery. I see. So much new technology, I can barely keep up. So these light-emitting devices, you lost one of them and a piece of luminous cloth. That's right, Lambkin. Heaven only knows where they could have got to. This cloth, it could have something to do with the case. Oh, interesting. Special color-changing cloth belonging to Scone. She has lost the roll of it along with the device that powers it. So we need to check the lamp. The lamp. Oh, come on. Okay. There's a blood mark. The lamps appear to be broken. Bulbs are smashed, both of them. Maybe they fell and broke on the floor. Look, there's a red stain on one of the left. That's not just a stain, that's blood. Yep, it's blood alright. I can smell it. What? Blood? Why is there blood on this lamp? Could it have something to do with why its bulb is broken? We'd better take a closer look at that other one too. So, Miss Scone had actually intended to use these lamps in her display. Then why were they stashed inside the castle? Maybe because they're broken? Except there's plenty of other places she could have put them. The best place to hide some salt is in some sugar, isn't that how it goes? Or perhaps the best place to hide a tree is in a forest? Anyway, if her intention was to put these salt lamps in her final display, that contradicts a certain piece of evidence in my possession. I'll need to point out by making a deduction. Okay, what do we have? Oh yeah, non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. Alright, I think we deduce that with the rules.
Eureka!
Take a look at the list of rules for the contest, Detective. Non-confectionery items may not be used as decoration. That means the salt lamps and the luminous cloths would have been against the rules. Scone's rule breaking. Scone used decorations that weren't made from confectionaries. Is that why they were stashed away inside the castle? I think we need to dig a little further into this with Miss Scone before we can say for sure. My shoes are already covered in cream. I wouldn't go any closer unless you want the same thing to happen to you. We've seen what's behind those doors. There's really no need to look again. Alright, so... do we discuss with Scone? Let's talk to Scone. I think we present the rules. Oh, look at that! Don't you have the loveliest toys, Greggy Pegleg? Okay, so I can't talk to her with regards to that. So, I think for now we need to deduce stuff. So, runny cream and high temperature is definitely a connection. The whipped cream in this room is collapsing because the temperature is too high. It's 68 degrees. My messed up shoes can vouch for that. And yet... when you open the doors to the castle, the handles themselves were just fine. Yeah, they were sturdier than expected. Sturdy? That's not the way I would describe most things made of confectionaries. I think we'd better take another look at those handles, don't you? What the? I think it's safe to say those handles aren't made of candy. It's not just the handles, the whole castle, the little elves. They're all just plastic models with whipped cream smeared on top. What? So none of this is confectionery art after all? Yeah, simply like a wedding cake. There's like only one layer of cake and the rest is like all plastic and fondant. No, it's simply made to look like candy, with the cream having been added to lend it all an air of authenticity. Okay, so... fake confections and Scone's rule breaking. So, not only did she use decorations that were against the rules, she didn't even make any real sweets. Miss Scone made the mockery of the rules. Yeah, guess she's not gonna get crowned world's greatest now. And why it's so warm in here? Do you think it's got something to do with all of this? Okay, fake confections added to the court record. It says court record! Nice. That's a good question. I think we'd better go ask Miss Scone herself. Okay, could these two be connected? Yep. We know that the victim was struck and killed with something blunt, and we found blood on one of the lamps which has a smashed bulb inside. Could the lamp not have been the murder weapon? For sure, it could definitely do enough damage to kill someone. You, science guy, did you finish analyzing the blood from the lamp yet? Yes, sir, just done a minute ago, sir. The blood is the victim's, no doubt about it. There you have it. Salt lamp added to the court record. So the murder weapon was hidden in Miss Scone's room. I'm beginning to think we may need to add her to our list of suspects. Miss Scone, why is the temperature of your room set to 68 degrees? Because I hate the cold, don't I, dearie? And besides, peeling chili's no good for a girl. If I want to keep my fresh-faced complexion, I've got to be careful about these things. We ladies have to stay young, don't you know? How old is she really, though? That's what I'd like to know. She may be 70 and she's actually a vampire. It's not polite to speculate on a person's age, Eddie. But most of your work is made out of whipped cream. And whipped cream needs to be kept at 50 degrees or it starts to deflate. Is that so, dearie? Well, silly me, eh? I've only gone and made a whoopsie. Wait, she really didn't know that? Lack of knowledge. Scone doesn't seem to know basic facts about making confectionery. World-class confectioner, my foot. Not only did she break the rules by using fake candy, she's ignorant of basic facts about her supposed craft. Miss Cone grows more mysterious by the minute.
Dash backseats with my ass.
Yes, Dash, you're behind. Okay, so I think we have one last deduction here, which is research and lack of knowledge. Miss Cone appears to lack basic knowledge about how confectionery is created, and she says that she snuck into another entrance room for research purposes. Hardly the actions of a world-class confectioner competing for a major prize. Yeah, not how I'd picture a top pro acting. Does she maybe just lack a little confidence, or is she not actually a confectioner at all? Perhaps she had another agenda altogether. After all, we only have her word for it that she went into that room to do some research. Wait, you mean maybe she went in there to commit a murder? There's no way of saying so for certain just yet. But she is hiding something, that much I'm certain of. Investigation complete. That's enough investigating for now, don't you think? Yes, we've certainly found plenty of interest. Something's been bothering me for a while now. Mr. Von Karma would have surely found the murder weapon when he searched this room. And yet, he didn't arrest Miss Cone. He didn't even seem interested in questioning her. I think our first priority should be to find out what he's really up to. Detective Bad, I have a few things I'd like to ask Mr. Von Karma. Me too. Him and Scone. Eek. How could you, Batty Bumpkin? Stop staring at me like that. It appears Detective Bad is just as suspicious of Mr. Von Karma and Miss Scone as I am. Miss Scone, would you be so kind as to accompany us? Of course, dear. Where are we off to? To find Mr. Von Karma. December 24th, 8:05 p.m. Contest venue, Fountain Room. Mr. Von Karma, we'd like to speak with you if that's alright. Disc. Judging by your faces, I am guessing you found the murder weapon. We did. It was in Miss Cone's room. Which means that Mr. Tangaroa should no longer be the only person of interest. Ha, nonsense. It doesn't matter where the weapon was found, Tangaroa is guilty. And as long as this is my case, guilty he shall remain. How can he be so sure of Mr. Tangaroa's guilt? You have an explanation, I assume, for why the murder weapon was in Miss Cone's room. Of course I do, and I'll be delighted to share it with you. The murder weapon. Tangaroa killed Frosty with one of Scone's salt lamps in order to frame her for the murder. To complete the deception, he took it back to her room once the deed was done. After all, if it had been found near the victim's body, Tangaroa would have seemed dubiously suspicious. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon? Considerably less so. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. So it's your assertion that Mr. Tangaroa took the salt lamp back to Miss Cone's room. It is indeed. But it is more than an assertion. It is a fact based on my own investigation. You mean you have proof that he did so? I don't need any such thing. Huh? Tisk. If you have a rebuttal, I'll be happy to hear it. But I highly doubt you'll be able to fault my logic. Tangaroa killed Frost with one of Scone's salt lamps.
Hold it!
So she took one of the salt lamps from Miss Scone's room back to his own. Indeed. He prepared it beforehand, knowing that it would be the perfect weapon with which to kill Frost. But we found the lamp in Miss Scone's room. Surely this casts Miss Scone herself in a suspicious light. Perhaps if you would let me finish. Now, as I was saying. To complete the deception, I took it back to her room once the deed was done. You're talking about the lamp made of rock salt that was hidden inside the candy castle, correct? Precisely. I was the one who found it. So be grateful. It's thanks to me you even have such a vital piece of evidence. What made you go inside the castle in the first place, if you don't mind me asking? Good point. Maybe you just wanted to see what it was like in there? Objection. Fools. You think I went in there on a whim? I went in there because detectives are an incompetent lot, so I investigated it myself. But I had nothing to do with it, the initial investigation. That's right, Detective Bad wasn't part of this investigation until very recently. If you want my trust, Detective, you'll have to earn it. And a good first step would be to stop wasting my time. Now, if you'll allow me to continue. After all, it had been found near the victim's body. If it had been found near the victim's body, Tanjiro would have seemed doubly suspicious. Not doubtly, sorry. But he came under suspicion anyway due to the body being in his room. So why? Objection. Would you like to hear a favorite expression of mine? Even a dog can hold still and stay. Now let me finish. If only I could say the same to you. A body may be hard to move, but a murder weapon considerably less. Hold it! So you think he hid the body in a chest but removed the murder weapon from the crime scene? Yes. He foolishly believed his own creation to be the perfect hiding place. Eek, I'm sorry, I had to help myself. I think you mean you couldn't help yourself, no? She doesn't seem very sorry to me. In any case, the weapon was taken away while the body remained at the scene of the crime. And that is why there was no piece of evidence on the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. Could this be like the pin? Hold it! But if there's no proof, how can you say for certain that Mr. Tanjiro was the culprit? Alright. So I have the salt lamp. Oh, we can investigate this. Really? These are probably batteries, so the lamps both have these hexagonal stands on the bottom, right? Yes, I imagine the indentations in the pillars were made to accommodate. Boy, did they fit like a glove. This lamp isn't working, no. Unfortunately, it appears to be broken. It'd have been nice to see it all lit up just once. Perhaps I'll get one for the office. Roll of cloth of navy blue, it's a very calming hue. I like it. Yeah, that was real deep and all mystery, but let's get to the main event already and light it up. Right, but I wasn't trying to be anything deep or anything though. Is that it? Oh, there's a control panel for like... Whoa, look at all these buttons. I believe they're for change the color of the light. Try pressing 1, Eddie. Ooh, there, now the cloth is all lit up. It's so pretty no matter how many times I see it. Cloth is now glowing with a pale blue hue thanks to the light emitting device. Didn't Miss Gon say one of these cloths in its machine are missing? What do you think could have taken them? I have no idea, but I suspect it might have something to do with her case somehow. Oh, I can't press the buttons again. Sad. Disc. Is that the best you can do at pressing me? Listen here, the presence of the body in Tanjiro's room is in itself proof enough of the skill. And you didn't find evidence pointing to any other possible suspects? Perhaps you should take another look. You might... You really don't give up, do you? There's no need to take another look. Tanjiro is guilty. End of story. If you insist on asserting otherwise, then show me some proof to back up your ridiculous claims. have to think back over the scene of the crime. If Mr. Tangaroa really isn't guilty, then there must be something that points to somebody else. Okay. So I think I have to present the pin. Why is there, and that is why there was no piece of evidence in the scene that pointed to a particular suspect. Okay, I think I need to present this.
Objection!
It's not it! Save scum. I think it's either the crime scene photo or the pin. Because that's the only things that are sus. Or the seal, rather.
Objection!
Damn it! It's not it as well.
Objection!
Okay, damn it. It's true that the murder weapon and the blood-stained chocolate were removed from the scene of the crime. But something else remained that does point to one person in particular. Take another look at the photograph of the body, if you will. The cloth covering the victim's lower half. Oh, there's also the cloth. Okay, now that you mention it. Is that not one of the same luminous cloths we found in Miss Cone's room? I actually didn't notice the cloth. I noticed the seal. Or, yeah, the seal. What's that, dear you? One of my lovely colorful cloths? At the scene of the crime, you say? Luminous cloth. Nonsense. I see no light to speak of. I guess he doesn't know how it works. It may look like ordinary fabric at first glance, but attach one of these light-emitting devices, and the difference soon becomes apparent. Oh, he doesn't have like the worried holding at his shoulder pose here, because that hasn't happened yet. Look at his face. I don't think he was expecting that. But the fact that the cloth can be lit up is neither here nor there. We have to show why it's important. One of the rolls of cloth from Miss Cone's room went missing. And if you look closely at the blue cloth in the picture, wouldn't you say it's clearly made of the same material, Mr. Von Karma? The salt lamp and the luminous cloth both belong to Miss Cone. And seeing as the body was wrapped in said cloth, surely even you have to admit that's suspicious. Mr. Von Karma, I think it's time to accept that a number of factors point to Miss Cone as a person of interest. Eek! Greggy Pegleg, how could you? You're accusing me of all people? I'm not accusing you of anything just yet. But I do think that you're hiding something. That's not... Oh, is she gonna have a breakdown? Just to clarify. Your assertion is that both the murder weapon and the cloth were in Miss Cone's room prior to the murder? Exactly. Tisk, 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 tisk. Is something funny? Only that you've walked so carelessly into my trap. Neither the cloth nor the murder weapon were in fact in her room. So sorry to have to break it to you. What does he mean? Tangaroa spotted them before the contest began and noted that the lamps and cloths contravened the rules. He subsequently confiscated them and took them to his own room for safekeeping. What? Then, after the contest began, nobody saw hide nor hair of Frost as he secluded himself in his room. And the only person capable of entering his locked room was Tangaroa, possessing, as he did, the only key. And as you know, he was also in possession of the lamp used to commit the murder. So you see, I have had everything I need to get Tangaroa convicted all along. Well, how does it feel to have lost to me before even setting foot in the courtroom? This can't be happening. Wait, all our hard work was for nothing? Miss Cohn, why did he tell us your stuff was confiscated by Mr. Tangaroa? Well, dear, Mannequin said that if I spilled the beans, I'd end up being the one under suspicion. Mr. Von Karma said that? And he wasn't wrong now, was he? You two accused me yourselves just a second ago. Tisk tisk tisk, pathetic. Curse you, Von Karma. You led us to the murder weapon knowing we'd make certain assumptions as a result. One more thing, my pathetic friend. There are 2 and only 2 sets of fingerprints on the murder weapon. 2? Yes, those of Delicious Cone and Samson Tangaroa. No others were found. Tangaroa used the lamp he had confiscated to murder Frost, and was foolish enough to hide it in Scone's room without first removing his fingerprints. Tisk tisk tisk. At this rate, no one will even need to testify. My perfect evidence will do all the talking for me as I secure his guilty verdict.
Objection!
But wait! What about the luminous cloth that was left behind in Mr. Tangaroa's room? What about it? He probably meant to return it after disposing of the body. I don't have enough to disprove any of what he's saying. Tisk tisk tisk. No more pitiful objections? Then get out of my sight and close the door behind you. Mr. E! I'm not about to just give up. I see you mean to waste more of my time. Bad, escort them off the premises. Now! This investigation is not over yet. Detective Bad. What is the meaning of this? Sorry, but I'm not in the habit of leaving cases half-solved. There's still one last thing from the crime scene we haven't identified. He's right. We still have the evidence of somebody's activities to account for. We can discuss your lingering doubts at our leisure, Detective. But whatever they might be, they're no business of the defense's. I beg to differ. There's a piece of evidence I'm still not satisfied about either. And I suspect it might be the same thing that's bothering Detective Bad. It's like the piece of the chest that was taken out that has blood. What? This is yet the unidentified something that was left in Mr. Tangaroa's room. Oh, is it the frame finger marks?
Take that!
Ah, it's not the seal, damn it. That's not what I was thinking of. You're late for work. JR, go to work. Go, now. Or else you're gonna be later. The fingerprints.
Take that!
Okay. There are finger marks on one of Mr. Tangaroa's creation. Supposing they belong to the murderer, it could certainly explain how their prints didn't end up on the murder weapon. You really don't want to. Come on. JR, you're not like a kid who doesn't want to go to school. Yeah, what Dash said. You need money for arcade machines. How do you know so much about the crime scene? Because I let them look around. You let the defense examine the scene, Dad? Are you out of your mind? I don't remember you telling me not to. Insolent worm, you would do well to remember this, tentative. That the results of your next salary review is up to me. Oof. Detective Bad's in trouble now. Why can't you get paid to fix your arcades? Anything you want now is way too expensive. Yes, everything right now is way too expensive because of fucking inflation. I'm sure glad you're my boss, Mr. Edgeworth. As long as you remember that, the results of your salary review is up to your performance in this case. You're ruthless with the salary review thing. A mere attorney uncovering such a fact based on a cursory investigation. I'm almost impressed. But it's entirely possible that those finger marks belong to Tangaroa. After all, he wore gloves while preparing his creations. But can you prove conclusively that the finger marks are his? Furthermore, there is still something about Miss Cone that doesn't add up. Is there? Or are you simply not prepared to admit defeat? No, you mean that games you want are uncommon and expensive? Appreciating something? as like time goes by, they appreciate, or things like that. Because they're also uncommon. Supply and demand, I don't know. Game economics. Alright. Ooh, stop it, Greggy. Stop it, stop it. Why are you being so mean to your poor old pal, Delicia? I wound up to nibbling poor Sammy Poople's sweeties. What more do you want? I don't want to have to make you a suspect. That much is certain. But you lied to us. And you're still not telling us everything. Greggy, stop it. Stop bullying me. I'm sorry, but you don't even know the temperature whipped cream should be kept at. What kind of professional confectioner doesn't know something as fundamental as that? I'm sorry, alright. I'm just a silly, muddle-headed girl. What more do you want me to say? I don't think you're muddle-headed at all. I think that you were never a confectioner in the first place. Enough! I'll thank you to keep your baseless accusations to yourself. Evidence is everything in a courtroom, in case you've forgotten. If you're going to accuse a witness of perjury, then I demand that you present something to back it up. But this isn't a courtroom, is it? Nevertheless, okay, what? Okay, fake confections. What proof do I have that Miss Cone doesn't know the first thing about making desserts? It's the fake confections.
Take that!
Every single one of Miss Cone's creations break the rules of the contest. The offending items, the cloths and the lamps, were duly confiscated, as we have established. And the witness did not go and bring them back to her room herself. But those weren't the only rule-breaking items in her room. What? The entire fantastical world Miss Cone created, every last bit of it, it's all just a collection of plastic models slathered in whipped cream. That cream is the only authentic confectionery in the room. No real-world title contender would ever stoop so low. Is this true, Bad? Yep, saw it with my own eyes. Stepped in it with my own shoes. Did we finally convince him? With her lies exposed like this, surely he can't continue to deny the facts. Miss Cone, your actions place you firmly on our list of suspects. But no, dear, I'm no killer. Then why don't you finally start telling us the truth? Who are you really, and why were you tampering with your rival's work? Okay, breakdown. Alright. The truth is, I'm not the adorable little cookie you see before you. I'm actually a pharmacist, if you can believe it. A pharmacist? I can't blame him for being so surprised. This couldn't be further from what we'd imagined. Oh, no wonder the food colorings were like mango down. Homocyanide. So what's somebody in your line of work doing entering a contest like this one? Well, I just love eating sweeties, if you must know. And Sammy People's sweets are the best, or so they say. I just had to enter. I didn't mean to end up making it all the way to the finals. Even Mr. Von Karma is lost for words. That's it? That's the only reason you're here? Yes, dearie, and it was worth it. Sam's and Silly Pants' sweeties are the tastiest treats I ever did eat. And the finger marks? Were you the one wearing the gloves? No, that wasn't me, dear. I don't even wear gloves. Remember, Mr. Scone's fingerprints were found elsewhere in Mr. Tangaroa's other creations. I'd say that points to her not having worn any gloves. Exactly, Lambkin. Greggy Peglegs got the right end of the stick. I'm an innocent woman. Is your head filled with cream too? Eek! Sorry, mannequins. Her head may not be filled with cream, but she's certainly no master of subterfuge. Miss Cone, were Mr. Tangaroa's works the only ones you sampled? No, dear, I couldn't help myself. When I'd finished my afternoon tea, I tiptoed over to Chili Winkin's room for a little taste too. You were in the victim's room too? Yes, dear. Nobody was in there, you see. Quite possibly because the occupant was already dead. But I could only stomach one little bite. I never tasted anything so salty in all my life. So I had myself one of the tasty star-shaped bits off to the side to cleanse my palate. You have quite the sweet tooth, don't you, Miss Scone? Indeed. What didn't she sample? That's everything, I promise. Greggy Peggles. Mannequins, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to make a mess of things. As long as what you've told us is the truth, that's all that matters in the end. Do not think for a second that this means I myself believe you. I'm going to investigate the victim's room now. We'll see how truthful you've really been after I'm through. Mr. Gohan Karma, please let us accompany you. I think it's only fair that we be allowed to investigate the veracity of our conclusions. Accompany me if you like, but don't think for a second you'll be permitted to conduct your own investigation. Would like to accompany you all the same. (9 p.m. Contest venue. Frost's room. What in the... What's the meaning of this? When we got to Frost's room, we saw nada. It was all gone. The whole enchilada. Was this the work of the culprit? A dead body hidden in a chocolate chest? A murder weapon moved mysteriously to another room. This case was a real peach, and it was going to take some serious sleuthing to get to the bottom of it all. Alright, Frost was like... Frost's forte is ice sculptures, right? Or something made of ice. So I assume like the temperature was like increased. That's why all the ice melted. TBC? Not TBC. It's TBC. Middle. Okay. I think we stop here. This is a good place to stop. Alright, we're back in the present, so... Alright, let's go back to title and save. And yep, we continue this next time. Probably tomorrow because on Thursday I'm leaving you. Why are you still here, JR? You should be going to work. Hop, hop. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. Yeah, I have to end now. Yeah, that's a good place to end, simply because stuff. Alright. Everyone, thank you very much for joining in. Cheers for the stream. Yeah, no worries, JR. Thank you for dropping by as well. Who do we have? Chip, if you're still here, thank you for the resub. Really appreciate it. So yeah, like what I said, tomorrow we'll probably be back for this. And then yeah, we continue with part 2 of this case. Alright, yep, again folks, please do not forget to check out the socials, YouTube, TikTok, Blue Sky, and the Discord. So yeah, if you're in YouTube, hi YouTube, we are simulcasting there right now. New video tomorrow? Question mark? Yeah. Alright, yeah, please do check out the YouTube. And yes, if you are not subscribing to YouTube, please give the channel a sub. We are, I think, 9 subs away from 750 subs. So that is my goal, hopefully before the end of the year, to reach 750 subs. Alright. Alright, I think right now we find someone to raid. So who is on tonight? Noony. I think I've... possibly found our potential raid target. Alright, you know what? Let us raid Waffle Smacker. I haven't raided Waffle in a while. So let's go say hi. And yes, like what Stream Elements said, if you are new here and you enjoy content like this, please consider giving the channel a follow as well. Alright, let's go and raid Waffle. I'll see you tomorrow for more of this. Everyone, thank you very much. Have a good rest of your day, rest of your night. And see you next time. Bye.